All right. To brief everybody on what we are about to go do, I have samples of the black ooze and of the plague. I've done some researching on how the plague is going to affect the blood sample, and hopefully we will have conclusive results today. Outside of this group here, our head researcher and Nino are the only people in the city that know we are about to go do this. Any questions that I could answer?
Does anyone have food, and what is the radio?
I got the radio for you.
All right.
There you go.
You are a
Six.
lifesaver. Thank you.
Need a drink?
I'm just a hot
You
dog.
may as well
Thanks.
take it. I'm good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
It's a 674.2, Tony.
Now,
And again-
Jason, for my
Mhm.
own clarity,
Yes.
this plague you're referencing, I'm assuming it is the same as what the hospital is now calling, is it black vein? I can't remember the full name they used. Or are we talking about two entirely separate?
This would be probably the same one. I don't believe there are two
Okay.
different plagues.
Okay.
And then outside the group here, as well as our head researcher, and nobody knows that we have a sample of the black ooze. Or that there even is a sample of the black ooze. Unless there are other samples that I'm not aware of.
May I ask where you acquired the sample?
From a very trusted resource.
Okay. There was a time where I knew of two samples in the city.
Okay. So then we have possibly one of the two samples, or there are two additional samples within the city.
Yeah.
Okay. Still very, very few samples.
Yeah.
Going off of that, to treat it as such, with how few that these are and that we have acquired, is very important that no one knows or
Hi,
gets a
Smithy.
hold of these.
Hi, Cab.
So during transportation, anything odd, just basically prevent anything happening to the stuff that we're transporting. That's a general consensus. As our team, the security, it is very important that these two do not get caught in anything that is either related to violence or anything that puts them at risk, even at their position. So moving forward,
Thank you, Kat.
it's very important that they are excluded from any third-party interactions while doing this. Do you guys have any questions before we go?
Just let me know what to do.
Alrighty. On your go, Todd.
How are we splitting up the cars?
You want me to? I can go that one. And those two can go in the Patriot
Okay.
with you.
Okay. And are you going solo in yours?
I can tail or scout ahead in mine by myself.
Okay.
If needed.
Okay.
Sure you don't
Whatever
want some
you
company?
feel is best.
Who do you feel safer with, Michael?
Well, it's not a matter of that. Just wouldn't want you to be stuck all by yourself, Danger.
You
that's
come
all.
with.
All right.
You also are in possession of the sample, Danger.
Hmm?
You have the sample. So
Mhm,
just be
mhm.
aware of that.
I'm aware. Mhm.
Okay. Perfect.
Alrighty.
Joey, you're driving. Don't let me down.
Yep. Are we lead?
Envy, thank you for the biddies.
Also, Joey, silence your phone if you haven't already.
I did. After I got that call and declined it, I silenced it.
Yep.
Brew, thank you for the gifted subbies.
So, how's everybody doing today?
Doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Appreciate those veggies you left for me, by the way.
You're very welcome. Might need to buy him a turbo.
Interesting move by the local there. He absolutely debated me.
Yeah, I did. Sorry for nabbing you as soon as you woke up, Tony.
No, that's fine.
I mean, what we're doing right here, right? Like this is real life-saving work.
It is, yes. Maybe we'll find a cure for Mr. Luciano.
How are they doing? I haven't seen them since I heard they caught the plague.
I talked to him today, not better.
Oh,
Not feeling any
no.
better. Would have talked to him for longer, but then I don't, what was it? 8, 9 cops flew into Cyprus.
Jesus.
Like literally, they pull up. We talk for 2 seconds, and then a whole freaking brigade pulls up.
Jeez Louise. You guys all make it out good?
Yeah. We all got out.
Lumpy, thank you. And thank you for the resubby. Gosh, why was that so hard to say? We got this. Oh, I thought he was just gonna plow through them.
Oh yeah, that would have been so bad.
Yeah.
Security would have been needed for sure.
Snack, thank you for the biddies. Welcome in. Hi, Nick. So we're bookers? Yeah, pretty much. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Thank you. Thank you. Is that a local to our left or?
Is that
I
the
believe
VIP?
so, yeah.
No, he's in with
We got in the other apartment.
yeah. Michael's in with Danger.
Okay.
Oh man, this is so fun. Almost there, boys.
That's right. That's right. Time to lock it in.
Probably be pulling into the garages. Hmm.
Jason, did I ever tell you the last time I was here?
No.
It was about 6 months ago. I had just woken up, and Frank Rizzo called me and told me the mayor's office needed to send someone to Humane Labs immediately. And what happened that day was 4 hours of me on the front lines here.
Mm.
You familiar with that event?
I believe I've heard some stories.
Yeah. I was the frontline doctor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Until the marshals showed up with tanks.
Oh. They
Yeah.
really do like their tanks.
They do, yeah.
All right. Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie to anybody. If we would have got Carmine to give us a sample of his blood, we were gonna use the cages.
Mm.
Mm.
I'll have to interview sometime about that incident because I got bits and pieces from a bunch of different people.
Yeah, I was there, start to finish. So. All these sinks, I remember, full of all black ooze.
Oh, did it get into the water supply?
Not to our knowledge, no.
Oh, okay, good.
Just gonna
Thank
check
you.
back here as well.
Of all the labs, it had to be this one.
Oh, what's wrong with this one?
I mean, that corridor, the hallway that those gentlemen are standing in was
Mhm.
basically the front line. We had scientists come from the elevator and from this lab. I mean, I call them scientists, but after them soaking up about 100 bullets each, are they really still scientists at that point?
Mm.
Yeah. We tried to push forward, made progress. Team got cornered. I was held up in that elevator for fucking 20 minutes before
Oh, shoot.
backup arrived. Yeah, and we managed to make it back into the hallway and kind of held our ground there. But yeah, this was bringing back memories.
Hopefully not bad ones today, though.
Let's hope.
For sample, okay. And this is where I might need some help if you want to, unless you're gonna try to type it in. How do you put where
I'm-
you can see things on the ground?
I'm good. It's
Okay.
fine like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
Here's sample
is like
2. Sample 1. Sample 2.
this is like nothing I've never ever seen before.
Same. Definitely we'll have to give this to Dr. Gigi when she is available.
Mm.
I think the other samples are going to come up on the screen over here. Yes.
Mm.
I thought they were just alien enough. Just alien enough.
Interesting.
4th sample.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Then we have one last sample from Luciano, who had been infected by Chatterbox the other day. We were able to get a fresh sample of his blood. He was kind enough to join us here. What does it all mean?
Mm.
What does it all mean?
Indeed. Now, this Smith virus,
Mhm.
what is that?
I believe that is that's what I was calling the plague, just because I wasn't sure what other name to give it, and now
Sure.
the hospital's calling it the black vein plague or something.
or other.
Okay.
Not plague.
Not
They
plague.
don't like the word plague anymore, apparently.
Okay.
Black vein something or other. You'll
Okay.
have to speak with that.
Okay. Okay.
So
Then
this black liquid is interacting in some way with the Smith virus, is what I'm seeing, right? Am I
That-
correct in that assessment?
that is what it looks like to me as well.
But the change to the black liquid that happens after that interaction, is that still unknown? The effects, obviously.
The effects, yes. I don't think we know what happens. We didn't even know how it interacted before this.
Well, it's changed, right? That much is obvious.
Yes. Yes, it has.
But the effect that it would have on, let's say, a host in this case, right? We don't know.
Right. Right. It does look like the virus possibly disabled the nanites, though. It does look like the black liquid is from possibly, I won't say absolutely, but could be from one of our green energy projects that escaped containment.
Now, for something organic to be able to disable something, I mean, inherently mechanical, robotic, right, in a nanite, that is news to me.
Yes, that would be something new.
Okay. This is absolutely fascinating.
Yes, I will have Dr. Gigi definitely confirm everything. But the tardigrade is looks so the green energy project was using
Mm.
tardigrades, so they are part biological or not biological, but
Organic,
organic. That's the word. Yes.
right? Hmm.
Interesting though.
Very. So, what is the next step here? You'll have to forgive my ignorance, as I'm not a staff member here, but these samples, your investigation, I'm assuming, is culminating towards understanding and some type of mass producible cure.
That
I would
is
assume.
my intentions, is to make a cure.
Now, on that point, I know through the grapevine that is San Andreas that something is being peddled as a cure, right? To
Mhm.
my knowledge, it was given to one Ember Quinn. I believe you and I had talked about this the other day.
Yes.
The results, right? The impact, the effect of that on her was, I vaguely remember zombieism being mentioned by you, right? Zombieism and easily manipulated.
Yes, that is what I had heard as well. I would love to get a sample of that cure to research.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
Was a sample in your possession, and if not, could it be? And if not, why was it not brought here before being administered?
That is an excellent question. I
I'm-
don't have a sample. I have
Okay.
not even gotten to look at it, but it is something we would like to research to see if it is possible to create a cure that would not turn the recipients into zombies.
Yeah.
We've also been looking for I know him as TJ. Don't know what his legal name is.
Mm.
Who was at the last Sports Center event.
TJ.
Did the skydiving. He was a friend of Margot. I've got some people trying to at least get me his name because Margot became very suspicious of me when I started talking to him. She
I
became,
could get it for you right now. Can I make a phone call?
of
Would
course,
it help?
it would, yes.
Bonjour, monsieur. I have a question. Margot has someone in her circle named TJ. Do you know that person's full name? Would you be able to get it for me from, let's say, City Hall and send it to me? Okay. If you can figure it out, I'd appreciate it. Merci, monsieur. Au revoir.
Thank
I will
you.
get the name ASAP. Yeah.
TJ himself was very willing to work with me. Apparently he's been infected by the black ooze for a long time.
Mm.
Carries a sample of his blood mixed with the black ooze in his pocket.
Mm.
But I've not been able to reach out to him to try to get another blood sample from him. he didn't want to part with the one that he had, and I didn't want to push it at the court center.
Of course, yeah. I wonder if he is one of the two that I know of. For transparency, that was my son that I called, Helios. I don't know if you know him.
I do, yes.
Helios is very well connected. And he was one of the people who told me he knew someone who had a sample. That came up in conversation with one Frank Rizzo, who I know, and you may know this as well, but to also be infected with the black ooze, let's say.
Yes. Told me the stories of that day. That's where I got a lot of information from. Danger gave me a lot of information. I'm trying to put together a timeline, but not able to speak with Rizzo anymore to get a recap of what he went.
What I can tell you, not from that day, but in the time after, and maybe he told you this, I don't know. But speaking in confidence with Frank, he said that he felt increasingly indestructible. He recalled a time where he was shot with a shotgun and should have had a hole clear through him. And he woke up as if nothing happened. But he said that with each time, something happened to him, and he said his words were, "Every time this thing fixes me, I feel like I lose a part of myself." That was the last time Frank and I talked. Yeah. And why I believe that assessment, right? Number one, I have no reason to doubt Frank. But number two, Frank was here that day that I was here. And like I said, hundreds of bullets. These things would drop and right back on their feet.
He mentioned to me that he became infected and turned into a zombie.
That I'm not sure of. I did not stick around that day to, identify the individuals. What we did find out, and now this is, now that I'm here, it's jogging my memory. When these things were infected, they really did not like water. But
that is good to know.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember one of the police officers, they shot out I want to say a water fountain, a drinking fountain, and it halted them. And they must have gotten wet because I remember a taser did incapacitate them. I'm assuming the water obviously amplifying the effects.
Right.
I will have to, sit down and rethink that day, because I'm sure I have a lot of information that would be relevant. I've just kind of, suppressed it.
Right.
God fucking damn it.
I do appreciate you coming out with us and reviewing the results with me. Did the people or creatures, I guess, that were infected, did they seem to have any intelligence?
They never spoke. I guess my answer would be no. It was sheer determination and primal force. There was no usage of tools or weapons or anything along those lines. It seemed like they were singularly focused on, attacking us. But I don't recall what I would consider to be any level of high intelligence, let alone intelligence in general. It was very primal.
Did you see the ooze moving without a host, or without it being inside a host?
Uh, this place was absolutely covered. It was all over the floor. There were pools of it. It was pooled in every sink, it felt like. But moving, that I don't think. When it was inside of, let's say, a vessel, like a sink,
Mm-hmm.
it stayed in that sink, right? It did not move out of the sink, right?
Okay. I see.
When there was a pool on the ground, it did not move position. That pool stayed there. Yeah.
So then I heard like two different stories.
Hmm.
One, like you're saying it was here, it was in the facility. But then I also heard that it was all over grapeseed. Did you see it leaving the facility?
I had heard, and I can't, I have no way of judging the veracity of what I was told, but I had heard that someone saw one person dressed in hazmat leaving this facility, and that person, that thing, whatever it was never accounted for.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. I wasn't prepared just to start asking you questions today. Uh, but I'm assuming when Rizzo was infected, he continued to look similar to himself. Were there other entities that were infected? And if so, what did they look like?
Every one of them was in hazmat.
Okay.
Now, again, I didn't stick around to see these people, or what were once people, identified. So I had never saw Rizzo that day. We spoke on the phone. He urged me to come out, but in terms of actually making contact with him in person, that never happened. I moved in with the LSPD. Taking charge that day was Maxwell, Haley Maxwell. And anytime we encountered one of these things, they were dressed in hazmat. It's very possible that Frank at the time, put on hazmat gear with the people that he was with. And what I was seeing was actually Frank. I have no way of knowing.
Okay. Okay.
If anything, there should be reports, truthfully. I'm here, the LSPD and the BCSO were here. There could be information in there as to the identity of who those what we thought were scientists at the time, who they were. But
Okay.
yeah.
So I know according to our energy project documents, it should try to stay as a colony and grow if it is that project, right? But it emits like heat and methane. So it would be traceable with those properties.
Now, how do we definitively identify this as?
I am going to have to refer to Dr. Gigi and letting her review these samples, the results.
Okay.
She will be the expert. The good and the bad about being admin. I've read the documents from the different projects we're working on, but I'm not as familiar with them.
Hmm. Yeah, understandable. Jesus Christ.
Do you have any
I-
questions or anything that you think we should know before moving forward?
That being said, I will.
Oh,
Take
I
some
did
ti-
not hear what you said. I'm so sorry.
Oh, at all?
I thought you were no, I thought you were thinking.
No. The only thing you should know is that Luciano's last name is not Di Mozzarella.
True, true. Maybe it was
But
changed to protect his identity.
reflect and think back to that day. Number one, I want to make sure I didn't misrepresent any of the things that happened that day. Actually, here might be your name. Bonjour, monsieur. Theo, Theo Jacyn is the name. Merci, monsieur. Face tattoos. Gotcha. Okay. Merci, monsieur. Au revoir. Theo Jacyn.
Amazing.
You said face tattoos, tattoos on arm. Sound like the same guy?
He was wearing long sleeves and a hat, and he was laying face down in the cement. Not the brightest person I've ever met. Landed his parachute on top of the court center, and instead of running to the stairs, he decided to jump off the building.
That explains the friends he keeps. Okay. Yeah, I will think back to that day. I want to make sure I didn't misrepresent anything. I also want to make sure I didn't forget anything.
Certainly.
As you can imagine, it was a long time ago.
It was, yes.
And it was nothing short of traumatic. Let's put it that way. So
Understandably.
maybe a little bit of time I might remember. Very enlightening.
Yes. I'm going to collect these samples and our sample case over there.
I can definitely appreciate the need for legislation, if that makes you feel any better.
Yes, it does. Thank you. I was going to ask that, yes, and then you got the phone call.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Ready to be escorted out?
Yes, sir. You doing okay?
Yeah. Just remember this place a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of broken glass.
believe the black ooze and the virus both have the potential of being turned or developed into bioweapons or weapons of mass destruction.
Mm.
I would like to prevent that.
Yeah.
All right, while we load up, Tony, if you want to check just right outside of the fence, and I'll have the car running.
Danger will drop you off wherever you need to go. Thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate your time.
All right,
Thank
you're
you,
clear.
Jason. Back to my vehicle, if you wouldn't mind.
Alrighty.
Andrew.
Are you leaving without me?
No, I was making sure the garage stayed open.
Okay.
I'll be splitting off to take Michael wherever he needs to go. Good job, guys.
Appreciate you, Mr. Danger.
No worries.